So looking at the top 15 metro markets, sorry that I have to read this instead of show you. I'll show you as soon as Jeremy gets back. But Austin is number one at, and they're talking about percent change from home prices since 1998. So this isn't something that's only in the last 3 years, since 1998. Number one is Austin. Next, you have Bend, Oregon, Los Angeles, San Diego, Oakland, Boise, Idaho, and a few others. So I thought that was really, and then Florida, Miami and Naples, Florida are 11 and 12. I thought that was really interesting that since 1998, Austin has had the best percentage of growth over every single major metropolitan area past 25 years.
So there's this one. So yeah, so Austin ranks number one best for housing markets for growth from 1998. Now, and here's what kind of frustrates me about those people that have never bought or sold a home, never owned real estate, never done any of this, and they have something to sell you on YouTube, and then they get mad at us realtors and say, well, these realtors just have something to sell, so yada yada yada. Don't listen to realtors. I'm not telling you not to listen to those channels, but the reality is, let me tell you a quick story. So I get why a lot of these people that are hoping for the crash, I get that why they're hoping for 2008. I took advantage of 2008. 2009, we bought a property, made some money on that, sold it, bought another property in 2013, sold that, bought another property in 2017, sold that and bought another property in 2022. We have made 7 figures in buying and selling real estate, where we would have not had that, how we would not bought and sold real estate from just homes that we moved into and moved up. And so that's why it's really frustrating to see some of these channels who, I get it, they're people that kind of missed out on the boat of buying. I'm speaking of one in particular, is renting in Dallas and then telling people not to buy. Now, I'm not telling you to buy, but the reality is you can't use a home like you would a stock. And this is where I think this set generation that's coming up that's looking at buy homes right now is going, well, yeah, I'm not going to make money on it right away. Well, of course, I'm talking about, I started buying homes in 2009 to 2022 to make 7 figures, seven figures, right? And that's off of buying and selling my own homes. And so I get the prices are higher, but the reality is until you get into this market, dude, I have somebody I met with yesterday, Ian. They bought a home with us in 2018. She's getting ready to sell her house and we're getting it ready. We're talking this woman who bought a home with 0 down, used one of those T-Shack loans, all of this stuff, literally put 0 down, got all this assistance to buy this home, is now going to make a 6-figure paycheck when she sells this home. It's money she would never had. And so I'm not telling us to tell people like this is the way to look at real estate, but a byproduct of buying and holding homes is the fact that you can create wealth over time, not right away. And I get it. We're in one of those economies in life where everything needs to be instant gratification. So maybe that's why people just think, okay, I bought a house. Now where's my $1 million?
There's so much to that. I, just like you, countless stories of people that could barely make it to get to scrape their down payment together. Fast forward a few years and that was the best decision of their life. And I mean, you can hear that. You can talk to, out of every 100 people might have a bad experience. And then if you skip 2008, most people will have a good experience if you skip 2008. So, it's interesting. There's a guy who has something like 300,000 followers on Instagram, right? It's pretty good. And he's a realtor, shows homes and everything. And all he does is just do the panning tours and all that. I'm noticing, so he had a post today or yesterday said, I'm finally practicing what I'm preaching and I'm buying my first home. And I thought to myself, how many people has this person guided yet had never gone through the process themselves?
Yeah.
And that is more than 50% of realtors in the United States, according to NAR.
Right.
That's crazy to me. And so when people are watching these YouTube channels and they're not investigating the people that are giving them this information, that's kind of scary.
And on the flip side, I keep seeing realtors post that Dave Ramsey uh, track on
Just buy the
Instagram.
house.
It
Buy the
drives
house.
me nuts.
Interest
It's
rates go up. Buy the house.
Yeah, interest rates. So what?
Don't
Buy the
not buy
house.
the
You can
house.
refinance. God, I hate that. Like that's what makes realtors look bad is when we say things like that, right? And then you have all these realtors that are posting the same thing over and over again. So what? Right? Buy the house. I get it, but not everybody's the same. Not
The
everybody's in
issue
the same boat.
The issue is I mean, it's good, right? And it's easy to make it a trend. The problem is when people are using it, they're not using it in any sort of context. They're
Right.
just saying buy the house.
Buy the house.
And someone who's a consultant or taking a consultative approach is telling you to buy it if you need it and it makes sense for you. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough about you should buy or you shouldn't buy. I think people know whether or not they should or shouldn't right now. I wanted to talk about that same article referring to the Austin housing market. So right here, the source is actually smartasset.com is the source article from what I can tell, or at least from the one that I clicked. Anyway, the thing I wanted to mention is all of those cities, most of those are cities, but Austin is talking about the MSA. It's not just Austin proper. Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown. So this is a perfect example of what you were just referring to, where you have this data set and it's talking about how great Austin is, but it's not just Austin. It's the Austin MSA. But all the other cities, Midland is just Midland. Boulder is just Boulder. See?
Yeah.
Dallas is also roped in with Irving and Plano. So they did it too. San Antonio is with New Braunfels. You see, like they're playing these games with the data.
Well, right, and that's like saying that that when you look at Dallas data, that Dallas data is all the same, all of it's the same. Well, it's not, because you have Dallas, you have Fort Worth, you have Prosper, you have all these subsidiary areas around of it, and they're all very localized. So if you're going to talk about it, you need it to explain. And I think this is where people miss, and I don't think it's their fault, because this is like Redfin puts out these numbers and they go, oh, look, like I watched this video on Bigger Pockets today, and he's like, look, there's 13,000 homes on the market. I'm like, what? I pulled up the data right there. I'm like, it's 9,600 homes. How is Redfin coming out with 13,000 homes for sale? Like, that makes no sense. And then it's saying, something else about it was about the inventory and the prices. And I'm like, but Austin's not that price. Austin's higher. And he's like, well, this is the aggregated data. I'm like, that's the MSA data. That's not the Austin data. Two separate data points.
Did he possibly
Go ahead.
Did he possibly misspeak and mean housing starts?
No, because that would still be, no, it just said inventory. So, but he's pulling data from Redfin. So what I'm saying is, like, when you're pulling data from these other sites that are like Redfin, Zillow, all these other sites, you're not actually getting from the actual source. You're getting kind of like just secondhand data. And so that's what I don't like about when you look at other channels that pull that same information. That's why I love what Jason Walters says. At least he's being honest about it, because he's showing you the month over the month. He's showing you the year over the year. He's showing you everything, and he's pulling it directly from Able.
Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.